I was off to bed, and then I realised I can't go yet, not without a few moments um, to give over to Matt Hancock, the pandemic's protagonist and the diary dweller extraordinaire, who is about to testify at the COVID inquiry. No stranger to scrutiny, nor, it seems, to saprobic stains scattered randomly across the stationery cupboard of political history. Former Secretary Matt Hancock, as he prepares to give evidence yet again to the UK COVID-19 public inquiry. One can almost hear the rustling of Isabel Oakeshot's annotated pages, the labour of her loquacious love, or at least her keyboard transcribing every Hancockian utterance for posterity, or perhaps just for profit. Now, Matt Hancock, let us not forget, was a man imbued with a desire to get into the stationery cupboard. Oh, it's like some TARDIS-like figure during the pandemic. Bigger, he might claim, salaciously, on the inside than on the outside. Whether that metaphor applies to his ambitions, his rhetoric, or his ministerial office wall is yours to ponder. His fantasies of control and order, so often pronounced at the Downing Street lectern with tears, were dashed, as we know, against the jagged cliffs of real-life complexity and his own televised obscurity. All on CCTV for me to behold. Mr. Hancock rose. Whoop! He rose? Not here. Not here. He rose to prominence. During a crisis, few could manage, and he definitely couldn't. He shrugged it off as he wrote his diary night by night, like a diminutive version of Kenneth Williams. Yet the inquiry seeks to establish if he even managed it at all. His evidence will span the gamut from pre-pandemic political dithering to the infamous PPE procurement fiascos. How ready was the NHS to handle such an unprecedented challenge as Matt Hancock? Oh, no one can handle me. Let's get into the stationery cupboard and let's make it move. He was ready. He was ready, he said. Oh, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. He was ready. But the NHS wasn't. How ready was the NHS to handle such an unprecedented challenge? If the diaries are to believe, and what a Herculean task that would be, Hancock alone stood against the viral tide, deploying WhatsApp messages with the courage of 1,000 little Napoleons. But let's not forget his other pandemic contribution, becoming the face of governmental hypocrisy. The now infamous footage of Hancock embracing Gina Coladangelo, pinning her against the backdrop of social distancing, has forever etched his name in the annals, I was going to say the annals, of scandal. Let's have an annal. Let's get into the stationery cupboard and really find out what those annals are about. Those stationery cupboard walls likely heard more than we ever will. Indeed, it's a pity they cannot testify at the inquiry. The stakes, I was going to say the stains, the stakes of Mr. Hancock's testimony are high. For Kate Bell of the TUC, the session represents an opportunity for honesty, a concept with which Mr. Hancock's critics might suggest he occasionally wrestles. Philip Banfield of the British Medical Association echoes this, calling for transparency, not sound bites. But sound bites are Hancock's lingua franca, as enduring as his pivot to reality TV, a move that turned I'm a Celebrity into a bizarre postscript of anybody's political career. Let us remember that this inquiry, projected to a cost of an eye-watering £208 million, promises revelations of a political response often described as reactive, hesitant, chaotic. One might say it mirrors Hancock's diaries themselves, an episodic cacophony of self-justification and salacious detail. There's another stain! As Mr. Hancock prepares to account for his pandemic decisions or indecisions, it remains unclear whether his words will heal wounds or deepen them. Will he admit the NHS was underfunded and unprepared, ill-prepared? Or will he, as expected, paint himself as the plucky protagonist thwarted by bureaucratic villains? No, if he wants that, he can get Nadine Dorris to pen his words. Whatever unfolds, history will judge Matt Hancock not only for his policies and press conferences, but also for his diary entries, those saprobic stains scattered for the ages, a testament to the folly and fantasy of a minister who once thought himself larger on the inside than he truly was. Ooh, let's get inside that cupboard. Let's get inside that cupboard and find an HB pencil with a rubber!